Hello.
Okay, thank you for coming. We're excited for the panel. We'll get right into it. So why don't we go far closer, introduce yourself for those that might not know, and maybe a quick elevator overview of, how you work within this space.
Well, my name's Seth O'Brien. I'm a TikToker and I create beauty videos. I post anything from like reviews or just like products that I'm loving on the platform, and I've been doing it since I was like 15 years old. It's like my favorite thing ever.
Awesome.
I'm Blake Manning, and I'm a TikToker, and I just do dancing content on TikTok.
Hello, my name is Marikana. I post dancing and effects videos on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, and I am an aspiring actor.
Hi, I'm Santi, and I am a YouTuber.
Awesome. Okay, so how did you get started? I'm sure some people out here want to be on stage one day, and it's very achievable, which is great about social media. Anybody can get on there and start posting. How did you get started, and what do you think was a key turning point early on that gave you some momentum?
Well, how I got started personally, it wasn't even intended for TikTok. I started posting like little makeup posts on Instagram just for people at my school to see. Like it was like photos of my makeup, or I would post like a makeup tutorial for like a makeup look that I would wear every day. And one of my friends was like, yo, I posted a TikTok, like you should totally check this app out. And I posted my first ever like makeup video where I really tried, and it just kind of like went off from there. And from that point forward, I guess I kind of realized like I could do something with it, and it was something that I'd always dreamed of. So I just kind of let it go from there.
I just started posting off like TikTok trends and stuff like that. And then when videos started blowing up, I just started posting more. And then those videos started blowing up. So then that's just how I built my, page. Just post trends.
I also started accidentally, similar to you, yeah. When I was about 8, I was doing professional Shakespeare, and around the time that I really wanted to, continue pursuing acting, somebody posted me just kind of goofing around at my local park dancing, and it went mega viral on Facebook. And I had a ton of people tell me, hey, you should be doing social media too. And so my parents helped me set up a Facebook account, and eventually an Instagram account, and eventually that just took off. So it was an accident, but it's an awesome accident.
Awesome.
Kind of same thing here. I was working at Home Depot, and I just had the regular 9 to 5 for like 2 years. And then I just started dancing in my apron. People thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. And then, I just kept posting. Eventually, Home Depot saw it. They did not like it. They thought I was just goofing off on the job, so they fired me.
Wow.
Then I was like, damn, kind of messed up, Home Depot. So I just was like, all right, I saved up a little bit of money. Let me, for like the next 3 months, just try social media. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, at least I tried.
Do you ever bake in Home Depot to existing content, like go back to Home Depot, or do you ever try to do any retro, or no?
Heck no, screw Home Depot.
So-
It's Lowe's. Lowe's from now on. But no more Home Depot, thank you very much. Don't shop at Home Depot. Show this to them too while you're at it. F you.
So what's one mistake? Go back. Obviously, things have worked out well. You're on here. What's one mistake that you think, if you could go back, that you would do differently?
I think one mistake that I made that I could go back and do differently is like just how I dealt in the beginning with like brand deals and stuff, because it's not a career, I guess, that you go into with like any prior knowledge. You kind of just run into it with like an open mind, like absolutely nothing about what you're doing or what you're posting, and so you have no idea about how things work. And I think with brand deals, I just wish I would have known what to do a little bit more, because I didn't in the beginning. Like I had no clue.
On the same topic as brand deals, like managers too, like managers that would hit me up and just try to manage me, just like I wasn't in their best interest, and like they, I don't know, didn't know how to manage me, and yeah, I don't know, like people would try to like scam you for like clout and stuff like that. So just like not trusting as many people online.
I like to keep my, identity a bit private on social media. And so if I could go back, I guess I would use a stage name I wouldn't use Americana because that has led to a lot of complications. When we first started, I just gave away my hometown. I showed, where I lived. I used my real name. Our phone number and address was public online. That was not fun. So if I could go back, I would change that.
Mistakes?
Well, the mistake or one thing you do differently if you could go back.
Damn. Honestly, nothing. I don't think I would change anything. 'Cause,
Awesome.
I mean, you gotta, go through mistakes to get to where you are.
Right.
I think, everything where I've messed up, it was like for a reason. So
Awesome.
I messed up, learned from it. Now I'm good.
That makes sense. Awesome. So how about the business side of being a creator? How big do you think you have to be to where you think you can make meaningful money? By meaningful, maybe you can do this full time, you can pay your rent, you can live off of it. How big do you think you have to be, and how long did that take?
I think it's not really even about how big you are. I think it's about how much of a push you have. It's not as much about, like, you can have all the followers in the world, but have no real influence. And so I think even at any size, there's a lot of influencers who I know personally who make like a really livable income, and they have like a smaller amount of followers. I think it's more about like how much of a connection you have with your audience and how like closely connected you are with the people who watch your videos. You know what I mean? And like how trustworthy you are.
I think Seth said it pretty well. Like having engagement with your followers and having them trust you and you trust them. Like just when you push out like stuff like for brand deals, like they'll like go buy it and they trust you on what you think is good. So
Makes sense. Eric.
Well, I'm lucky to have two parents who work full time and can support me, and so money and living off of my social media has never been a top priority for me. And so I'm not the most knowledgeable about this topic, but I do know that there are much smaller creators who are able to live off their social media, and so you definitely can do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, kind of what he said. You just got to learn how to monetize, honestly. I think, being pretty small, you can kind of like, see what works, but definitely engaging with your community, like with the people that actually like, watch your stuff, like you. Like if they really, really like you, like if you're selling like say merch or something, they'll buy it. Depending on how big or small you are, just the fact that they really like you. If you have 100K and like 1,000 of those people buy something, you could have like 10 million and only have 500 people buy your stuff. It just depends on how much somebody really likes the way you carry yourself, how you are, stuff like that.
Awesome. So anybody in the audience have a question? I have a few more, but kind of we're a third the way through. Any questions from the audience? No question's a bad question. We're here. What's your name?
If you could give one piece of advice to aspiring creators, what would it be?
Great question. So we had a great question from the audience. One piece of advice, just one, to aspiring creator, what would it be?
I'd say that you need to stay true to yourself, post what you want, be consistent with your posting, post the trends, just like that kind of stuff.
I kind of agree with that. I think if you have something that you have a drive about inside of you, like anything that you're really passionate about, just do it and do it your own way and like trust your instinct and whatever feels right for you and your like, I guess content and like what you personally just love and you're passionate about, just do that as an aspiring creator and it'll grow from there because there's so many people who enjoy the same things as you and I'm sure they will look up to you a lot.
I see that a lot of aspiring creators really trying to, just do trends and try and be like everybody else. And while that's fine if you're just, shooting TikToks with your friends, if you really try and want to make it big, it's really important to try and set yourself apart. Because, in my case, if I just did trends normally like everybody else did, there's always going to be somebody who's better at dancing than me, or is better looking than me, or better at shooting. And so I've come up with a little niche for myself. I do robot dancing with special effects. And while I might not be the best at special effects or robot dancing, I'm the best at doing both of them combined because nobody else does it. So that's my piece of advice. You know, try and be unique.
Good question, buddy. Let me see. I say, to be honest, just post as much as you can. I feel like if you just keep posting, people will get used to seeing your face. Honestly, that's like my best advice. When I first started, I was posting like 7 or 8 times a day. And I mean, I guess people just got used to seeing me, and eventually they like, you know, I kept posting. And like after a year, people just keep seeing you post, they'll just like it automatically out of habit. And then if you like, you know, make a trend or something, it'll help you grow. So yeah, just post as much as you can, to be honest.
Interesting. Any other questions? I have a few more. Any other questions? Okay, if you do, raise your hand and I'll notice you. How about the platforms? There's so many platforms. How do you just focus on one and just have your content repackaged? Do you just focus on one and forget the other ones? Or do you make unique content for each platform? And how do you pick which platform to focus on?
I think it really depends. For me personally, TikTok is definitely the one that I focus the most on because that's kind of what I built everything on. But I think each platform has its own like unique set of content. So
TikTok's like one of my main places I post content, and usually I take my TikToks and then I post them on Reels and Shorts. So that's just.
How does that do? Because a lot of people have said that the platforms can kind of tell if you posted somewhere else first, so they want kind of unique content. So has it worked doing it?
It has worked, but like for TikTok, you have to take off the watermark for Reels. So I just take off the watermark and post it on Shorts and Reels.
Cool. So it's worked. Awesome.
It has worked. Yeah.
Great.
I do a very similar thing to what you do. I just shoot everything out of app. I found that if you shoot out of app, not, you know, in TikTok, if you post it.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
So,
You're late.
Come on in.
Sophie's here.
Welcome.
Right here.
Can you
Yeah,
see?
you do that. Hello. Here, you can answer next.
Squeeze in if you want.
Here. Yeah, I can.
Scooch in.
It's a little awkward now. Sorry about that.
you're all
You're good.
Okay. Sophie,
Nice.
welcome to our panel.
Welcome.
So you were finishing about same strategy for.
Oh, right, yeah. So if you shoot out of app, you can then post on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and anywhere else that you want to, and the platforms don't care, and it's worked really well for me. And I wish that I had time to, you know, create unique content for YouTube, because making vlogs sounds fun, but TikTok is such a full-time job, I do not have time for that.
Well,
So I do a very similar thing to what you do.
awesome. You want to answer that, and then I'll get. Why don't you
yeah.
answer it? Then
Okay.
we'll give Sophie the.
What was the question?
The question was, how do you navigate the multiple platforms? Do you just focus on one, use that same content elsewhere, or make unique content for each?
I do unique content for each. I like doing TikTok. I say if you're barely starting, I say TikTok because it's like the easiest to gain a following. So what I did was just bust out a bunch of TikToks, blow up on there, and then use it to start YouTube because that's where the money's at. So I just blew up on here, and then I was like, yo, I do YouTube too if y'all want to check that out. And I mean, eventually they checked it out. Started posting consistently on YouTube once a week. And yeah, now YouTube's doing really good. So.
Awesome. So Sophie, to catch us up, why don't you introduce yourself, talk about how you got started, and what was kind of one moment that you remember that helped you get to the next level?
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry I'm late.
It's okay.
I'm Sophie Fergi, and I started a minute ago. I would say so I started getting into like the social media world around like 8, but I wasn't posting. I was on like Musical.ly and stuff. Like I had no idea what I was doing.
Right.
And Vine. And then around like 10 is when I started like actually getting into it. And something that really helped me like get to the next level was seeing other people who are in this industry being grounded and not, I don't know, like I've met people who are not nice, and it's just like, I don't want to be like them. So I guess just getting to the next level, like seeing people that were grounded and knowing that if they could be so nice and have such a big following, why couldn't I? You know, so I guess if that answers that. But
And what was one moment that you remember that really helped you get to the next level?
one moment, okay, I'm trying to think.
Or one strategy or
one strategy. Really the grounded thing for the strategy, but I'm trying to think of a moment that I realized like would help me. When I started YouTube and it started to, I guess, pop off, pop off in a sense. But
Yeah.
when it started to do well, then I was like, okay, wait, like I can take this somewhere else. And I guess I would say YouTube. It was the thing that helped me.
Awesome. How about collaborations? Do you think that it's better to be solo, or does collaborations help? How have you used collaborations to grow faster?
I mean, for me personally, like I don't really do collabs with other influencers a lot. I think when I'm friends with somebody or like I know somebody and we really like, we're good friends and we both really like each other and I just want to make a video, then I do it. For me personally, I don't do collabs that often, but I always make videos with my friends and stuff. Like that's always cool.
I think collabing really helps like grow your audience more, and especially collabing with people that don't necessarily do the type of content that you do. Just like to get your content out to like different audiences and stuff, it really helps grow your account, and yeah.
Double mic. Here, you can take this. Collabing absolutely helps you grow your channel. I mean, there's no doubt about it, because you're reaching all these people who had no idea that you existed before on different sides of TikTok or YouTube or Instagram. But me personally, living in LA and being homeschooled, doing social media collabs it's kind of how I make friends. And that's a big reason why I like doing it. I've met a lot of, my best friends that way. And so there's a lot of reasons why I love collabing.
Sophie?
Me next?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
now we're back in normal order. Yeah.
collabing for me, I think obviously, like Merrick was saying, it does help you grow. I just think you gotta collab with the right people, in my opinion, because you might go and collab with someone and they could be super rude in a sense, and it's not a fun environment. So I think it really honestly just depends on who you collab with, and as long as you're having fun, because like for me at the end of the day, obviously we all want our channels to do well, but I'm just here to have fun. So it's like if it doesn't do well, it doesn't do well. So I'm like here to meet the person, in a sense. But I think collabing's great. I mean, do it. Make friends.
It's very true. It's good to make like creator friends, but I feel like collabs should come after you already kind of have your own thing. I feel like building your own thing first kind of makes, I guess, people fall in love with you rather than the collab.
Right.
So it's like you gotta kind of do your own thing for a little bit, and then the collabs like kind of just come along. You make some friends, and then making videos just comes naturally, and it's considered like a collab. But if he's already like your friend or she's already your friend, then it's just kind of like you're just making videos. Like it's not
Awesome.
really a collab.
Awesome. All right, question. No question's a bad question. Let's hear one. Who's got a question for one of the guests? Okay, let me know. Next question would be, where do you see yourself in 3 years? Is it just doing more on TikTok, or is it something else?
I think for me personally, where I see myself in 3 years is kind of a little different from what I've been doing. I've actually been saving like since I started to start my own makeup
Awesome.
company. That's always been like a dream of mine, even with like partnering with brands and like whatever. So I in the next 3 years, I think I'm gonna have my own makeup company, which I'm really excited about, and just kind of do my own thing. Thank you. Like
Yes.
instead of working with brands, like just kind of doing my own company, making my own products. Because I think after posting about makeup for so long, I've kind of learned what I love and what my followers love. And I guess like together, my audience and I have really seen like what is missing and what we want. And so I'm kind of excited to just create that.
Awesome. Blake?
Mine's kind of a little different from like the TikTok stuff. I want to get into acting. I've been doing some acting and modeling. That's really where I see myself in a couple years. Maybe a Netflix show. If Netflix is watching this, hit me up. All right, get me on a Netflix show. But yeah, that's where I see myself.
Awesome.
Thank you. My overall goal is to be an actor. In fact, the reason why I started social media, or I guess the reason why I really buckled down doing social media during quarantine, is because I didn't have acting roles, and I was hoping it would help with acting. And so my overall goal, hopefully in 3 years, I'll be a more successful actor, and maybe I'll be on a TV show or a movie or something exciting like that.
Okay, so for me, I have always, obviously I want to do acting. I've always had a passion for it. But another thing that I really want to do is like I want to get into fashion more. I think the fashion industry is beautiful, and it's a beautiful way to express yourself and to show, it's a beautiful way to express yourself. And one of my goals right now is, and this is a high goal, but like I really want to go to the Met Gala when I'm older. So like that's like my top thing right now. But really just like getting more into the fashion universe, and because I've loved it since I was a baby, and just getting more into that, and acting, of course. But yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. 3 years?
Yes.
Good question. I think I'm probably still gonna be doing YouTube because I love to entertain. So I think that'll probably be a vibe. I'll be like 23, so I'll still be pretty young. I'll still be doing YouTube, and I think I want to get into like real estate, like just start buying a bunch of properties. I think 3 years I should have 3 properties, 1 every year.
Awesome.
Passive income, stock market, all that.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
What's missing in the space? Like what do you feel like the platforms could do better with, or what company needs to solve something? What are some pain points that you're surprised aren't solved yet by companies?
Like in terms of algorithms or just like creators? Like,
Is there something that is difficult for you that you feel like the platform should offer, or maybe another company should offer? Like, do you wish there was a company that would offer creators X? What would that be?
I think, honestly, I'm not sure. Yeah.
I got a good one.
One thing is TikTok has been taking down like some of my videos. I know other creators, a lot of their videos for no reason, but that's something that they could fix.
So there's like, out of nowhere you get a message.
I mean,
Your video was taken down. You don't know why this one versus the other one?
It may be because like my shoulders were showing, and I don't know, maybe.
Nice.
I don't really know, but yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they could fix that a little bit, but
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
That also is the only thing that came to mind for me. TikTok has some iffy moderation for its videos, but I mean, overall, it's not.
Will TikTok tell you why they took it down, or just say this video's been taken down?
I don't have that many of my videos taken down, but I have friends that do have a lot of videos taken
Right.
down.
Okay.
And I don't think it tells you. So.
Okay.
But I bet if I thought more about this question, I could come up with something better.
Makes sense.
It gives you like a title, like inappropriate language or like
Right.
certain. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Sophie, what?
Okay, so like the only thing that came to my mind was like Apple with their phones. When a new phone comes out, your phone starts glitching. And the reason, I know this isn't like an app, well, Apple's like its own thing. The only reason this came to mind is because this happened to me recently, and my phone just started glitching. So that's the only thing. But I can't really think of anything right now.
Do you want the iPhone to be fixed? Fix the iPhone.
Yes, fix my iPhone. If you put out a new phone, make my phone still work.
I have an answer.
Yes.
Okay.
We redo.
Now that you mentioned phones, I desperately want there to be support for Android phones for TikTok and Instagram because there's really awful support, but I really want to have like a Samsung phone, and it sucks because I can't use it.
So wait, you use an Android?
No, I have an iPhone because of TikTok. I have to.
Right, okay.
But I wish that I could use an Android. I wish that TikTok supported Android.
So you
properly.
want to switch to Android, but you don't think the app is good enough on Android? The TikTok
It's
app?
not. My dad has an Android, and the video compression when you upload is horrible. It's buggy, slow, and I want that to be fixed.
Why'd you want to switch to an Android?
It's more customization. It's less of a lockdown ecosystem. There's a lot of reasons.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Thought of another
Nice.
thing as well. When you're done,
Go
when you're
ahead.
done.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Ladies
okay.
first, of course.
Thank you. Also, with the TikTok being taken down, I agree. I have so many friends that get their TikTok taken down, so like I agree on that note. Like, I feel like TikTok will take stuff down for no reason. So like I have a friend, she's actually in the audience. Her TikTok has gotten taken down way too many times. So TikTok, if you're watching this, leave Claire's TikTok up, please.
Interesting.
But that's all.
God, what a question. Whenever the TikTok Creator Fund started, they were paying pretty good. and now it's kind of not that good.
Right.
So I wish TikTok went back to like when they first started doing Creator Fund. They were paying pretty good, but now I guess it got kind of saturated.
Right.
And their pockets started hurting a little bit, and so now they're a little stingy. I still love you, TikTok. Please don't ban my account again. But yeah, I wish they paid more. Love you, TikTok.
What are some cool?
Wait, I have one more thing.
Yes.
I promise this is the last one, but
You
it's
do-
something that I think
you've been
everybody
good-
unanimously agrees with.
Everyone.
I think that YouTube needs to return the dislike button. I think that
Yeah,
yes,
they did take it off.
Yes, they removed the dislike button, but I think that that's something that everybody wants back.
Why would you want that back? The dislike button.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of reasons. Let's say you're trying to find a tutorial online,
Right. Makes sense.
and you know, it's a bad tutorial. People will dislike it, and you'll know that it's a bad tutorial and not to follow it.
Right.
Or let's say there's like, you know, a questionable content creator who has done something bad and you don't want to support them.
Right.
You might know if there's a lot of dislikes, right?
Right.
But they've removed it.
Makes
Facts.
sense. And some people have said that like if you instead of leaving a negative comment, they'll dislike. But with no dislike, then they'll leave a negative comment. So it might help to have less comments too, potentially.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That makes sense. So what are some cool companies in the space? Just cool things you've noticed, maybe features, or what are some cool trends you're seeing right now in the creator space?
I think one cool trend in particular I've noticed with creators, this is a little different, but I think creators are becoming so much more authentic in themselves. And I've noticed over the past like 5 years, like people are just more like them. And I feel like a lot of the times when you go on platforms like YouTube and TikTok, somewhat Instagram's still a little curated, but on a lot of these platforms, I think we're starting to see people like really be themselves. And like even on TikTok, a lot of the people that I follow and I like watch their videos like are so authentic, and I look up to them so much. And I think it's cool to see platforms going in an area that's more authentic and relatable.
Wait, can you say the question one more time?
What are some cool trends or things that are going on in the creator space, new companies or new content trends? Like what are some cool things happening right now?
Well, it's not really the dancing part, which I do, because there has been no new TikTok dancing trends lately, and there needs to be. So if anyone in the audience can dance, please come up with a TikTok trend and post it, because
Facts.
I will do the dance.
Yeti.
So please, but that's all I got.
Thank you. Okay, there are two things that TikTok brought to the creator space that I really, really like. The first is short-term video. It wasn't as popular before TikTok or Musical.ly, and I like short-term video. I know it's not for everybody, but I personally really enjoy it because I get to try out a lot of different ideas, whereas, you know, with YouTube videos, you really have to commit to one and spend a lot of time working on it. And the second is that TikTok popularized the method of basically letting anybody blow up. Because before, you know, with YouTube and Instagram, it was very hard for a small creator to start and to grow. And it was always a very gradual increase in followers. But with TikTok, you could literally blow up overnight. You could, you know, wake up with 2 million followers because a video of yours, you know, went super viral. And I think that's by design.
That makes sense.
I agree with that too. You can blow up, honestly, out of any app that I've personally, like me personally, I grew the fastest on TikTok, so I do agree with that. But I would say something that like, what was it? Something that like I like with an app, right? Okay, something new. I would say I like that TikTok added stories. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I personally do because it's a lot like Instagram in a sense. Like I can see what's going on, you know, and like see what my friends are doing, and it doesn't have to be a whole TikTok. And it like I think it deletes itself afterwards, so you don't even have to worry about views either, which I know is a stress for some people. That and the self-discovery as well. Watching people, I guess, come out of their shell more and like be open and like chaotic on the internet, but like in a good way is really cool. Like seeing people, I don't know, happy and thriving is really just amazing to see. But yeah.
Shout out to the color customizer on TikTok because it makes your skin look replenished and healthy. Like when I would break out and stuff, you just turn on the little color customizer, you tweak it a little bit to the front, and boom, you're gorgeous. So shout out to the color customizer. If you're not using it, I know he uses it a lot to make himself look nice. Hop on that, trust me, color customizer. Use it.
So how about the decision to do this full-time, like whether you go to college or you do content, or thinking in the future, would you have a job or just do content? Like, how do you think about, like, is this all you do? Like, and how do you factor school into that equation and your future school goals?
Well, for me personally, I graduated high school last month actually, and I'm not going to college. I've been doing this. Yeah, I've been doing this like kind of full time, I guess, as a job while I was in school, and I was kind of working and just posting. And now that I've graduated, I kind of wanted to take some time to focus on, obviously, building a makeup company and stuff. So I think that's really, I don't know that I would go to college, but I'm open to it for sure, because I think education is very important, and I want all of you in the audience to know that too. Like, a lot of creators, I think, normalize like, oh, school doesn't matter. Like, if you become a creator, school doesn't matter, but school is very important, and your education is so important.
Awesome. Blake?
Yeah, I try to set like time aside to do each individual thing. Like, I play basketball too for my high school, so practice, school, and then making content for social media. That's what I do. I do plan on going to college. I might play basketball in college too. Is something I might do, but yeah.
So you go to college as well for the basketball, or like, are some of your friends that are creators not going to college, or what's that decision like? So like, do creating full time after high school, or go to college and create on the side? So what grade are you in right now? Like, where are you at?
I'm gonna be a senior.
Right. So you are going to college next year.
Yeah.
Now, are some of your friends that are creators creating content, did they decide not to go to college so they can just do creating full time, or are all of them going to college as well?
Most of the creators I know didn't go to college and just did social media full time.
Right.
Yeah.
So how about that decision? Like, talk about that. Like, why did you decide to go, and what are the pros and cons of each?
So I really want to go to college just to like get my education more, and I really want to play basketball in college. So that's why I want to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats. Awesome.
you.
So I absolutely want to go to college, but I mean, does it make sense for me to? Because I already have such a successful career on social media right now, and that might go away tomorrow. And so I'm not sure if it makes sense for me to go to college right now and pause my social media career.
Right.
And so I've kind of had to, decide between college and not going to college for the time being at least. And so because I'm indecisive, I chose neither. And I am now going to part-time community college.
Awesome.
So I can put off the decision for more time.
So you're doing the best of both worlds. So
Exactly. I'm
Right.
getting a bit of education and spending a lot of time on social media. And I feel like it's working for me right now.
that's good. You could slowly build. So that's interesting. He had a tough decision. Do I do content full time or go to college? There was an argument to each. So he's just dipping his feet into college while still doing content. So that's
Exactly.
Yep. Good
Yeah,
solution.
a lot of professional athletes also have this dilemma.
Right.
Because, do you go pro or do you go to college? What do you do?
Right.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so with my school right now, I basically my teacher will just literally send me a schedule, and I have to get it all done before Friday. And that being said, I can really work in what I'm doing. So like, if I have to do a TikTok that day, or if I have a meeting, or
So
if
you're
I have,
homeschooled?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I should have specified that. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm homeschooled. So that being said, it's easy to kind of have your school. Like, I'll get up at, like, for instance, 6 in the morning, and then finish at whatever time I need, like 6, and then finish at 10. So with that being said, I just have a full-on schedule. And honestly, with that being said, I think it's all perspective too, where you want to go. I mean, everyone has their own life and their own lifestyle, and I think it's your perspective and whatever you believe in, and if you believe in that, then you do what you do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just think it's all perspective with that. I personally love my education that I'm getting, and it's way easier when it's summer with social media.
Right.
But yeah, so I just have a schedule, and I work in my TikToks and my meetings and all that stuff with it. So
Awesome.
I just finished college. I got my bachelor's degree at University of Houston. Thank you. Thank you. I played overseas soccer for the Mexican national team as well for a little bit, under 20, which is pretty cool. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. So I was doing college. I know a lot of creators tell you to drop out or like, you know, focus on your content, which is good, which makes sense for him because he's going into acting and he's already successful. But it's also good to have a plan B. So I got my bachelor's degree, just have it right there sitting behind me just in case. So I get, oh, they're cheering for me? Thank you. Thank you guys. I get to do, all right, come on guys, let me talk. Yeah, bachelor's degree,
Awesome.
play soccer. So I have soccer. I could go pro if I wanted to. I could go back to college, but right now just YouTube is the vibe because it's funsies.
Awesome. We have a few more questions, but I've been spraying a lot of questions at them, and they've all answered great. Let's give a round of applause to the creators. Thank you, guys. Who's got a question for them?
Yes, the young lady right here, the beautiful young lady right here.
I'll repeat it if you
Throw her the mic. Throw it to her. She'll catch it.
No, that's. I don't need to get my security deposit back from Vidcon. With who? Okay. Oh yeah. Is it true
Madrid.
that you turned down a contract with Madrid?
Yeah, actually, I made a video on it. The Madrid youth team was actually looking at me for a little bit from Mexico.
Wow.
But they weren't like offering like good money. Like they weren't putting up bread. So like, you know, money talks and they were not talking.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
So you turned down.
Madrid youth team offer, yes.
Awesome.
Good question.
I'll repeat it. Yes, I can hear you. Oh, yep. That's. So first question is, what did your parents do to kind of restrict you that you might not have liked at the time but ended up helping? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Is that both? Yeah. Negative. Right. Awesome. Thank you. So we went from not getting questions to getting a four-parter. So, okay. So the second question was, how do you handle bullying personally if someone attacks you, but also in the comments? So let's repeat the first one. Let's answer that one first. Bullying. How do you handle bullying if someone's trying to attack you in the comments? And then what do you do if you kind of see your fans starting to attack each other?
I think for me personally, because I'm a boy who wears makeup, I was always kind of made fun of growing up, so I was a little used to it when it came on the internet. And I think it was easier to deal with because it wasn't in my face directly and I could just ignore it. But in the beginning, it was one of those things where I would like try to come back at people who are making fun of people. And I kind of realized inevitably it's a comment at the end of the day. And like in terms of what I was doing, it was just gonna help me and they were only making themselves look bad. So I just kind of chose to ignore it.
Same thing he said. I just try to stay away from all the bullying comments. I just ignore them.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I certainly get my fair share of you know, harassment and bullying online. And so, first off, it's helpful to know that it's all just jealous little kids. I mean, it's all it is. And I've also turned it into a bit of a game. I try and block all of the comments with comment filters, but then the bulliers will, you know, sidestep them. But then I block them again.
Wow.
And so it's become a bit of a game, and I'm really invested in it. I have the best comment filters. Yeah.
So what, like an example might be you'll block the word hate. So if anybody types hate in a comment, it never shows up, something like that?
Yes, exactly. But it's important that you don't block normal comments.
Right. So you have to find
So
them.
it's a tricky game. Yeah.
Wow. And you're doing that yourself?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe not the best way to spend my time, but it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
We need to make this a reality show. Merrick versus the haters.
Yeah.
I'd be invested. Okay, so with hate comments, woo, I get a lot of hate comments, and honestly, the best thing you can do is just ignore them. There are going to be comments that you see that are really hurtful, and that can honestly change you as a person. With me, I've always just let it, like, I ignore it, but I think the hardest part is when you get hate, like, in real life. Because, like, for me, it's over a phone. I'm not seeing this person, they're not seeing me, it's okay, it's over a phone, it's a comment. But when I've met people and they've said rude stuff, and it's just like, I met someone recently, and they're like, emo girl, and I was like,
That's messed up.
yeah, and I was just at a skate park, and
You
I
don't
was
say
like,
that to someone.
okay, alrighty. Like, and they would just, like, say rude stuff, so it's like, when you're face to face to someone, with me, I have anxiety, so I was like, I had no idea how to react. I just kind of like tried to ignore them, but like when they're in your face, it's hard. So, best thing advice I could give you, and I know everyone, for the crowd too, everyone's gonna tell you this: ignore them. And I know it's gonna be hard, but you just have to fight through it.
That makes sense.
It's definitely awkward, like in person. Somebody says something that you don't want them saying to you. I mean, you just kind of put a face, you know. But online, damn, I don't know. I like your game. Ignoring them, pretty good one. I don't know. I just like to think of it as like, I feel like their life is probably not as good as mine right now at the moment, you know. So maybe they're just kind of passing that energy in the comments. So I just, you know, feel bad for them. But it's like in my head, I just kind of do that. I'm like, oh, they probably, you know, not in the best place right now in their life, so they're probably just trying to, you know.
Great. Okay, and the second part of your question, the first part, two-parters. Yeah, parents. You know, obviously parents sometimes might give you rules because they're looking far out and you might not understand. So what were some things that your parents did that you think helped you, whereas at the time you didn't necessarily feel that way?
I think one thing my parents did that I guess helped me that I didn't really see at the time was when I first started, I was like, oh my God, this is a big opportunity. I wanted to shove all of my focus onto social media. And of course that like affected my schoolwork, and they were like, no, you need to take a step back and like find a healthy medium to focus on them both. And at the time I was like, oh, it doesn't matter, I'll just do this, I'll catch up on it later. But I think they taught me a really important lesson by making sure that I was taking care of social media, but then also like taking care of my grades and my schoolwork as well. So I like, now that I've graduated, I really understand that and I see the full picture, and I do appreciate that a lot.
What he said is 100% like good. And then also, my mom had app restrictions on my phone so that after a certain time, I couldn't use them, like all the social media apps. Now I see that as good for me because I usually go to bed around 11. I wake up early, do my stuff. But what was I gonna say? Shoot.
App restrictions.
Yeah, app restrictions. Oh yeah, a famous quote I once heard is "Nothing good happens after 12." So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens after midnight.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, very early on, I found it was almost entirely a good thing to trust my parents' judgment. And so I didn't really rebel against them much. But one thing one thing that kind of matches up with what you were talking about is when I was young, I was first learning special effects and VFX, which I post a lot of now. But when I was first learning that, I wasn't very good at them. But I really wanted to post it. And my parents are like, no, just wait like a month and then look back on the video and decide if you want to post it. Thank goodness I did, because they were really, really bad. I mean, hilariously bad. And so I'm very glad that they told me I should maybe wait to post them and you know, use my judgment later. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think, yes, you should post them, Eric. I think something that really helped me that I didn't realize at the time. I've been in many toxic situations that okay, so when you're in a toxic relationship or something that's not good for you, when you're in that, you don't realize that it's bad, honestly. And you really don't, and you need someone else to see it for you. And my mom has definitely helped me with that. She was like, this isn't a good situation. Like, you can't, you know what I mean? And it was hard. It was like, I don't want to leave these people because I thought they cared about me, and at that time they didn't. So that being said, it's hard to pull away from something, but I'm so glad that I did pull away because I probably wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have been at many places, or gotten any of the opportunities that I get now.
How are you able to like take your mom's advice when it was so hard to break away? What was?
Okay, well, it was hard, but
What were you able to do? Yeah.
yeah. So for me, I didn't want to listen. I was like, they care about me. You don't know what you're talking about. I know them better. I didn't want to listen. I was a kid, still am. So with that being said, it was hard, but she was just like, all right, trust me, and let's say you want to go back, you know. I didn't. I saw it. And I don't even think she would let me go back because, first off, none of us want to go back to any toxic relationships. But you just have to see from an outsider. And I've learned that if you look from the outside in, you can really see a lot that you didn't even notice. And me taking that step back really helped me realize. And I thank my mom so much for that because if it wasn't for her, I would be in so much right now. So I'm really grateful that you just gotta put trust into your parents or
Awesome.
people that you trust.
Awesome.
Good question. What was it?
The question was, what's one thing that your parents taught you that at the time you didn't enjoy, but it was good in hindsight?
So, it was about social media, right, or something like that?
Oh no, just her growing
in
up.
general. Well, with social media, my parents are just kind of clueless. It took me like 5-6 years to convince my dad to get an iPhone. He had like a flip phone. And then my mom just doesn't get social media, so whenever started doing social media, they didn't get it. They thought I was just messing around. I didn't want to get a job. But yeah. Nah, I think the best thing they did for me was just be clueless and not understand what I'm doing, and then they were like, nah, you're not doing that, you're gonna get a job. Because it made me like not want to get a job, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to do that, because they were kind of telling me what to do, and I didn't like that, and I was like, nah, I want to do this now. So I guess that was like the best thing that they did for me, to be honest, was like kind of not believing me, because it made me want to do it even more.
Makes sense.
So it was like, that little fire inside of me helped me out a lot.
Awesome. Well, it's just been an excellent panel, like great, insightful answers. We have time for one final question, and then I also want to make sure that everyone here can share their socials so we know how to follow them. Yep. Yes. He wants to know if you ever thought to be a comedian.
Who, me?
Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
that's what social is, correct? I mean, on social media, you do comedy content.
Yeah, I do comedy. You should watch my stuff.
So-
I'm basically a comedian online on YouTube.
That's a good dovetail for the end. So let's start this way now. Where can people find you and follow you?
You can find me on YouTube as Santi. It's spelled like S-A-N and then T. So Santea. Or on TikTok as the same thing, but with 2 underscores.
Sophie?
Oh, me? Okay. You can find me on TikTok at Sophie Fergi, Instagram it's all the same, at Sophie Fergi for every platform. And yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you. I am at Americana everywhere. It makes it simple. MERRICKHANNA.
Awesome. Blake?
I'm not the same on everything. On TikTok, I'm at Blake the Goat with 2 T's, and then on Instagram, I'm at Blake X Manning.
And then for me personally, it's just at Seth O'Brien on TikTok, Instagram, and then YouTube as well.
Awesome. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did.
I was
Yo,
trying to
dude, you don't want to ask your question?
Anyone?
Ask it.
Scream your question.
You got this, buddy.
Shout.
Oh, he's coming. He's
Oh,
coming. He has a purpose.
Final question of the day.
Uh-oh. Sorry.
Yeah. We kind of went over the first one, so we'll kind of make it one big question. Yeah, how do you connect with your community? Like, maintain connection, engage with your fans, and so forth.
For me personally, I kind of, whenever I post a video, I'll go and I'll reply to comments or I'll talk to people in the comments. And then I think just posting like similar content over again, not necessarily like repeating, you know what I mean? Like over time, people just build a relationship with you and what you're posting, and you kind of like build a relationship with your audience over time. So I think if you can put that into your content and then interact in the comments and like doing Q&As on Instagram stories, I think all of that together is really good.
Same thing as he said. Commenting. Also, I love talking to people through DMs. Like if you DM me, I'll probably respond. I respond to a lot of people through DMs because I just like talking to people. So DM me if you want to talk to me.
Well, I mean, of course, replying to comments is a great way to connect with your fans, you know, going through liking and replying to comments. But also, because my videos are, you know, very highly produced in a way, like they're very professional, I use Instagram stories and TikTok stories as a great way to kind of give people insight into my personal life a little more, you know, because my content isn't very personal.
Right.
Oh, I have one, Merrick. Thank you very much. Just kidding. I would say for me, I differentiate what I post a lot, but a lot of my content now, it's all over the place. Like TikTok, it'll be a dance move, and then it will be me complaining, and then it'll be a get ready with me. But I honestly just differentiate everything that I'm posting. So like, my Instagram, of course, is all photos and dances. Like that's basically all it is because of Reels. And then you have your stories, but I try to make every platform a piece of me, if that makes sense. So like, you have TikTok, not TikTok me, like different me's, but trying to explain this the best way possible. But like, you get to see the fashion side of me on TikTok, and then the like put together version of me on Instagram, and then like goofy me on Snapchat. And I think that really helps because it's like, it gets people to look at different platforms as we all want. So yeah, it shows them to look at other platforms, and yeah.
Well said.
So.
You said keep the content like the same or different. You asked about that, right? Like if you whether you keep it the same or different.
Yeah.
I say honestly, well, what kind of content do you make, or do you make content? Or it was just a question?
Yeah, question.
Well, yeah, I say keep it kind of the same, to be honest. You can switch it up a little bit, but kind of generally the same. Like say I do comedy, I'll just be funny on all platforms. And then the community-wise to connect, I say honestly just like engaging captions that makes people comment and then just comment back. And then also like videos, like every now and then do a video about yourself that helps people realize like, oh, this is like a person that actually does things, not just like a robot.
Awesome. Well, that was a great panel. Thanks everyone for the questions and for staying. And most importantly to the creators, thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Sophie, thank you Sophie, you made the most important part, so it worked out well. Thank you for showing up. And we'll be here. Thanks everyone.
Next time I won't be late.
Thank you.
Thank you, you guys.